Yeah.
Benji, how you been?
Yeah.
Hey, you gon' fuck with this one, Kawhi?
They gon' fuck with this one, Kawhi.
Yeah. How could I not?
How could I
Get checked.
Yeah.
Benji, how you been?
Yeah. Sakari. 1750. Get checked.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? What you say? Get the dog, get the dog. You know that video? Yup. You know, we the children of the slaves. We children of poverty, oppression, miseducation, confusion, you know, deprived of humanity. And I love like Solomon's heart, you know what I mean? Yup, through the midst of ignorance, we trying to make a way for ourselves and be examples for the brothers who, but I can't project myself, I gotta keep it so it's up to us to make sure we see how to set points and representing. Fine wine, I'm wondering where's the time gone. Try and spread truth. My niggas worry about the belts with the rhinestone. What else? Insecurity covers you like the pyramids, limestone. These niggas following the cobblestone. They follow, but you forgot about the cornerstone. They forgot. I dropped gemstones. I know it's hot. I'm 10 toes like the Flintstones. That's true. We on fire, that's a Flintstone. Nigga breaking barriers and milestones. Super solid like the rock of the church. Flooded Dickies, that's for Calvo. He was rocking them first. Speaking of high water, I got water, keeping the law. And what it is, put a magnification glass on your flaws, nigga. How's it feel when you look in the mirror and your reflection's unfamiliar? It is you to fuck around and kill you. 10 years, I'm finally walking up right. I was a teen, writing 16s, watching Nick at Night. That's why a nigga nice. Yeah, you know, we never had options. We had to take why a nigga nice. Giving us, you feel me? No, niggas can say what they want to say, but we stand up. Listen, all my Hebrews stand up. Niggas is sweeter than cheesecake, and we elevated the grand lux. I tried making them bangers, they wasn't hearing it. My bro said I rap like that with less experience. I took it as a compliment. I did, but really hate how niggas who got more exposure can overshadow accomplishments. I never did it for recognition, but for the love of it. But ain't no love in it. Well, my nigga, fuck it. Forget that. Happiness is a foreign image. We piss poor since the elbow scrapes with Neosporin in it. SMH, let me mourn a minute. And I ain't looking for no pity party, just a potty to piss in. No wonder we ignorant, self-righteous, uplifting, undereducated scholars flipping government assistance, pants hanging and gang banging to die, representing something that you never own, living in the unknown. The chief cornerstones missing in your foundation. It's correlation versus causation. The domino effect predicts your wealth, social status, and your health. Any other questions, ask Uncle X, no relation. Later known as Jaquab, I got some knowledge on me. Little bit of seasoning and mileage on me. And I grew the fro out, picking it, looking like I got a blowout. Walking through the projects with my Bible on me. Nigga, that's facts, nigga.
It's a car set, nigga. 1715, nigga, you know the vibe, nigga.
Turn me up.
Christians know we preaching the word every day. How can you compare a king into a slave? My people, they be struggling on Section 8. Our options are to go to jail or get led to the grave. KJV, I'm keeping it right on my side. Love the Lord, that's Deuteronomy verse 6 and 5. We in slavery, we gotta work just to survive. It's life or death, your choice is either is dead or alive. Preach it to the wind, cause it's low, gotta pick up. Make a heat and breathe in reverse like a hiccup. Eat them deceiving the road, you can't trick us. Dolce Gabbana to fit, let's flick up. Casa Amigo to drink, let's sip up. Psalms 83, all the heat and had clicked up. Glock holder 50, I'm picking my clip up. Chill with the brothers, new moon, let's link up. They say the Lord love everyone that is blasphemy. Brother fall out of the truth, that's a tragedy. He nigga get salvation, a fallacy. Teaching my people and I do it happily. Don't call you niggas like Davis, I'm Anthony. Pray for the kingdom, I do it so anxiously. Spend 750 on shoes. pictures at the gallery. Israel go up, never down with its gravity. Esau be chillin', just looking from balcony. I made the whole world, including the galaxy. My people going through the pain and the agony. He move with precision and strategy. Wearing my fringes and tassels so casually for Jacob trouble. Bullets from academy. Nobody helped her when it was calamity. Want us to forgive everything, it's insanity. Preaching the word every day. How can you compare a king into a slave? My people, they be struggling on Section 8. Our options are to go to jail or get led to the grave. KJV, I'm keeping it right on my side. Love the Lord, that's Deuteronomy, verse 6 and 5. We in slavery, we gotta work just to survive. It's life or death, your choice is either is dead or alive. Baby girl, you know I'm gon' correct you. Put in our videos, teaching on YouTube. So lose the faith, how we're gonna come through. So I worked over 10, all the lies I see through you. Wearing my fringes with a border of blue. Scriptures be hitting, I keep in out his shoes. Moab love a bossy of glass, I loved of you. Big Judah stepping, you don't wanna run into. Come from the tribe where Christ and King Solomon. Israelites running the streets, metropolitan. Breaking all the heathens' bones with his collagen. Growing up Baptist, but I am not Jonathan. Precept on precept, scripture, I'm a scholar. In head of my household, exalting my dominance. Christ is the king, ruler, royal, he is prominent. Israelites come to your block, they like not again. If she be tripping, all she do is gossiping. Knock out his chest, eat them bigger for oxygen. Dog walking dogs, I might be zoologist. I'm like this close, you pushing my tolerance. Christians be reading the scripture with no common sense. Can't forgive Esau, so there was no recompense. My people struggling, this shit is evident. Loving my people, the heathen irrelevant. Preaching the word every day. How can you compare a king into a slave? My people, they be struggling on Section 8. Our options are to go to jail or get led to the grave. KJV, I'm keeping it right on my side. Love the Lord, that's Deuteronomy, verse 6 and 5. We in slavery, we gotta work just to survive. It's life or death, your choice is either is dead or alive.
This house guitar, man. The Hebrew everywhere.
I know I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to get it right. I ain't really understand what it means to have a wife. No, I wasn't really thinking right. Man, I hate when we fuss and fight. I'm just trying with all my might. I'm just trying to do right. Sometimes I just wanna sit back and just watch a movie with you. And then you fall asleep, I'ma keep holding on you. You know that I'm loving you, or you know that I'm loving you, boo. I hate it when we argue, I end up back in the fool. Gotta do better as a man. My father told me, son, you gotta start, use your head. Yeah, Quad said you gotta get out your feelings.
Shalom, 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 man. All praise to the Most High God. Abanawa Yahweh in heavens, man. Call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh, man. And, you know, tonight, we bringing in the Hebrew New Year, right? And y'all, man, y'all put some prayers up for your boy. Me and my family, we got the flu. I need the prayers, man. You know, it's on and off and on, you know, hot fever, headache, various symptoms, man. But I'm okay. Right? You know why? Because I believe in the Lord. Right? And put prayers up for the whole Sakari camp, man. You know, we out here pushing this work. We always gonna need the blessings from the Most High God. We always gonna need the help from y'all, from Yahweh, just in general, man. Right? Just show that love. And also, if you love God, hit that like button. A lot of people would be downing and dashing. Hit that like button because we need it. Right? It helps us in the algorithm, helps more people see this, and it helps more people who need to see this and need that one wake-up call and that one video that actually sparks their interest into looking more into their nationality. What else I got? Got another debate coming up pretty soon with somebody I'm pretty sure y'all have seen on various Hebrew Israelite channels. That's gonna be a good one. I'm not gonna say anything until we get closer to the date. What else I got go? Oh yeah. Y'all subscribe to Space City Records. Houston's gonna be dropping their album. I think it's either tomorrow or the next day. I forgot. It's coming up real soon, but y'all go subscribe to Space City Records. What else I got, man? How y'all doing out there, bro? How y'all doing out there? Y'all put some ones in the chat if y'all doing all right. Yeah, Dwayne definitely needs this. Right, Dwayne definitely. I call him King Asspool, but you know he definitely needs this. But yeah, man, you know, as y'all can see the title, man, Black Hebrew Israelite Debunker gets debunked, and it's sad. It's sad that it had to come to this. I want to give a little bit of background on this video that I posted because this actual conversation happened like a month ago. I forgot I had this footage. I went on my hard drive, and I was like, because the reason why I kept it is because I had that debate with Jim, and there were some angles I used in here that I was going to use in that debate. So I was like, I don't want to tip my hand. I'll just wait, right? And then I forgot that I had this. Then I'll check my where is this at? Right here. I checked this thing right here, and lo and behold, I found some backup footage, and I actually have more. Not this type of debate, but like I have like two more that's pretty good from TikTok. I'm gonna start trying to be on TikTok a little bit more because TikTok, you know, that's a debate hub, man. That's the new Mars Hill. And for those who are scholars, know what that is. That's where you're getting a lot of debates and a lot of heat and a lot of smoke. And it's a lot of Hebrew Israelites on there, and that leads us into this. There's a lot of Hebrew Israelites who aren't very studied and are not prepared for pushback on their cuts. Because what ends up happening with a lot of Hebrew Israelites is they'll watch a video or two, they'll get a little bit of precepts and start using and parakeeting doctrine, but they get too used to beating up on low-level Christians. Like Christians who don't read, Christians don't know nothing whatsoever. They get too used to beating up on them until they think they're on a level. But when it comes to Christians who read just a little bit, and a little bit more prepared, a lot of y'all aren't prepared for kickback and feedback on a lot of the precepts that y'all pull, right? And on this guy's channel, I've seen it. Everybody keeps sending me this dude's videos, and it used to show up on my algorithm a little bit more than it does now currently. But I'd go on there, I'd see Hebrew Israelites really not getting confounded, but like, how do I explain it? You're not really delivering blows, right? You know, it's like you're not getting flush shots on him, and he's muting people, and you know the typical I'm the Christian host, so when I start to get any type of confoundment, I'm gonna start muting you and knocking you off the channel and blocking you, like some people said, right? He says he banned me off his live. So when you start cutting them real bad, that's what happens. But before that, there's a lot of Hebrew Israelites that go in there and are not prepared, and I've seen it. And it makes this man's head so big to where he thinks that he can actually confound Hebrew Israelites and study ones, but it don't work that way. Because being in Christianity makes you believe a certain type, like it makes you understand the scriptures in a way that's just like without any type of foundation. There's no floor, nothing you can stand on. And you have to literally lie. And you're going to see that in this entire conversation. For all the people who already watched it, you've already seen it. And all the people who watch it live, you've seen it, right? And what you continue to do and what you continue to see in Christianity is ass pulls. I call this man, I've never seen anybody pull the type of ass pulls that this man's pulled in a while. Like I've seen some, but Jesus Christ. What did Rob Judy say? He told me he's only going after Israelites because God told him to, you know, and you know he did. You know, when the Lord decided he didn't want this man like to be saved, because I don't know if he's going to be saved, but currently in the state he's in, his belief system and ideology he's in currently, if he follows through with that, he's going to be destroyed. So since the Lord decided for him to be in this realm of delusion, to be in Delulu land, right? the Lord sent his left-hand spirit to put him in a state of delusion, to where he thinks that he's doing something. You have to really think about this, bro. Hebrew Israelites, or so-called black Hebrew Israelites, we're literally reading the Bible and doing what God says. And y'all now want to start reading the Bible to combat people doing what God says. Like, you have to think about that. Y'all literally are mad at us for literally seeing, God says this, we're going to do this. And mad that we want to do that. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? But yeah, let's go into this. This is crazy.
Of 4 long years of hard work, and it is
also shout out to Ariella, man. Go follow him, Ariella Sakari, on YouTube, and go buy his Bible, man. You know, he spent 4 years. He spent 4 years making a Bible to where a lot of the errors of the King James was fixed and corrected. Instead of having transliterated names or Greek names or Yiddish names, he put the actual Hebrew names. Created his own font for the Hebrew text inside of the Bible. Put the literal Lord's name in there where it needs to be, instead of the Lord, instead of Jehovah. You see Yahweh in there, maintaining its power and its power and its strength, even from its original tongue. So go patronize your brother. Go do that.
It's available for purchase at hibofficialzion.com. Get yours today.
What's your name?
You say Dwayne.
Dwayne. Okay, Dwayne, right? Yeah. So I mean that doesn't answer my question specifically. I'm just wait, you're real fast. I forgot to add a little bit more context to this. So we hold camp out here around like 2 or 3-ish, most of the time 2. And I saw this coming from the store. I usually go to like the HEB or Walmart to go get my groceries. I came back and had like an hour to get ready for camp and think about what I want to talk about at camp. And then I saw this live. I was like, you know what? I have time today, right? I only got about 20, 30 minutes, but I got time before I have to leave to go to camp, right? Because you see later, maybe in the middle part of this video, I tell them I only have a certain amount of time left because I pride myself in trying to be at camp on time. So I told them, like, I only got like 15 more minutes, so whatever point you want to make, go ahead and make that point. But I'm going to get this smoke now while I can. So that's the context of what's happening right here. I'm saying, like, the word ethnos, that just means a non-Israelite.
Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time.
I mean, I was just looking for a yes or a no. In
the Bible, every time we see the word Gentile, when it's talking about a people group or a different people other than the name people Israel, those are non-Israelites. That's what I'm saying. That's the Bible.
What about in John 11?
What about in John 11?
Where it talks about where let's see.
What about where we're at? What about where we're at right now?
Because he's not prepared for that. He says that. What about where we're at right now? You're not prepared for this because he made it a bold declarative statement. Every time you see this word, it means a non-Israelite. And then I said, no. What about John 11? He said, well, what about this right here? The point is still being made because like ethnos or goy, depending on if you're reading the Old Testament or the New Testament, the Hebrew or the Greek, right? The Greek dealing with the word ethnos, right? When we see that word, we can't just lock that down to non-Israelites. Like that's it. There's too many instances where it's where it's literally talking about Israel. Like in this, I go to John chapter 11. That's one, but you also see another one in Luke chapter 7. Let me present that real fast, and then we can jump back into this. Luke 7 is about a centurion that loved the nation of Israel, and that word "nation" right there is literally ethnos. Luke 7 and verse 5. So yeah, Luke 7 and verse 5. I'm just going to get to the point where Luke 7 and 5. For he loveth our nation, and he hath built us a synagogue. Right. So when you see right here where it says nation, it's ethnos. Literally. The same word that gets translated into Gentile, the word that y'all like to say is non-Israelites. But we see instances where it doesn't mean a non-Israelite, it means an Israelite. Or we're talking about Israel as a nation just in general. John 11 and Luke chapter 7. And there's various places where the word Gentile, even in English, means it means in reference to an Israelite. There's various places, right? And you see that in the Gospels, you see that in Paul's epistles. So we can't just lock down that word to say it means to make it mean a non-Israelite. And the only reason they like to do that is because they want to prop up Paul. And let's just say this right here. When we see the word goy or goyim, right, depending on singular or plural, that's the Hebrew word for, or Yiddish Hebrew word for nation. When you see that used in the Old Testament, it doesn't just mean a non-Israelite. Like both of these. Watch this. I want to make a point off of this. So you see Genesis 12 and 2, and I will make of thee a great nation. This is talking about this promise is being fulfilled in Israel. Israel becoming this great nation, being a descendant of Abraham. So when you see this word for nation right here, you see goy. The word that gets translated into nation or Gentile or heathen. When you look at this word right here, when you click on it and look in the Browns, like matter of fact, before we even go to that, the usages, it says nation people, usually of non-Hebrew people, of descendants of Abraham, of Israel. So it's used for Israelites and non-Israelites. And looking at the Brown's Dryer Briggs lexicon, when you look into all of this, it gives you examples and verses where it's made in reference to Israel. You see nation and people, then A right here, was specifically of descendants of Abraham. All of these, then B, definitely of Israel. And look how many times it's used for Israel. Starting from here all the way down here, talking about Israelites. So the concept of where we get the word nation, or nation, where you get goy, where you get ethnos, it's used for both of those. Context allows you to know which way and which inflection this word is used, whether it be the Hebrew or the Greek. And you see this word also, and I want to show this too, because they'll say like, oh, well, that's just the Hebrew word. That's just the Hebrew word that says that. When you look at the Septuagint version of, where is it said? When you look at the Septuagint version of the Old Testament right here, the ones with the Greek, the word that they use, like an equivalent word, is ethnos right here. I'll make of thee a great nation, ethnos, the same exact word. So that idea was already present around like let's just say around time the first century. They just do that, right? Let's make it real simple instead of having to go all the way even further back, right? That idea already existed. So when we get to 2025, we can't just have morons out here who read the Bible and love their slave masters so much that they will make an entire channel predicated on combating people who's telling the world what God says and how these people are going to be destroyed, right? We can't have that in 2025. Those people saying these things to where these words mean this and only this. But when we look at the scholars who's more decorated than them theologically, with their scholarship, with their renown, all these people say something contrary to that. And so does the Bible itself. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's crazy. What is this? Is it, Edomite? Yeah, yes, I know Edomite Dave. Right. I seen he commented when I posted the video for the live that happened today. He posted on there. Oh, no, yesterday. When I posted live, was it the live? No, the premiere of this video that we're reviewing right now. He commented on it and says, "You see, you don't know the Bible, you just know talking points." How ironic is that, David? How ironic is that when you watch this video, this interaction that I had with Dwayne, the entire time it's talking points. Everything this man says is talking points. Every point that I made is off of a Bible verse. But this man solely solely had talking points. And you know what that really is? It shows you how much you hate black people, Dave. I know he's probably watching. It shows you how these people really hate us. That you will go out of your way to lie, even though you know, like you literally see this happening and say, "No, this is happening." Like, you know, like you're a liar. And everybody who follows him and thinks like David are liars as well. And let's see what happens to liars and people who love lies. I mean. Revelation 21 and 21 and 8. It says, "But the fearful and unbelieving and the the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." So you're going to die in nuclear fire. People who believe like David and David. So, which is one chapter over. One more verse. Revelation 22 and 14. "Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life." Because these people have virtue. They believe in the Son who kept the commandments. They believe in the prophecies. They believe in the Lord. Right? That's why it's blessed are they that do the commandments, because they're favored. Blessing means favored. Who are they favored by? The Lord. Why are they favored by the Lord? Because they obey him. So blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, that they may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers, all things that break the law of God, murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Christians. If you want to hold on to that, which is a partition of the image of the beast, you're going to die in the lake of fire, which burneth forever. That's what's going to happen. So with that being said, let's just jump back into this.
We're talking about the Gentiles here.
Okay, but what about this Gentile here?
Brother, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I don't.
Why you want to go to John 11?
Brother, can I elaborate on why I said that? Let me just get there, bro. I'm being respectful. I'll let you get your diatribe off, and I didn't interrupt you. So I just want to say this.
I just don't like jumping around.
We don't even have, brother. We don't even have to. Well, I'd like to go there, but I don't need to go there to establish this point. I don't believe the word ethnos in the Greek or Gentiles means a non-Israelite in every context. And I was going to provide a proof text in John 11 to show you that that's not
okay. Let's do it. Go to it. John 11. John 11. Where we at? Verse what?
John 11 and we can do 47 and 48.
47 and 48.
Yeah.
Then gathered the chief priests and Pharisees a council and said, "What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation."
Yeah.
And one of them,
The Greek word right there for nation is ethnos. And that's not talking about non-Israelites right there.
Okay, but you see what I'm talking about when I said the Gentile, when I say that's why the word there that I'm talking about is Gentile.
Confoundment. You see what I'm talking, confoundment. You wasn't prepared for that. I don't see why Israelites don't make this. I don't see why Israelites don't make points like this. I don't see why Israelites say things where the languages don't matter. This point, it might seem like it's small, but it causes a problem. This is one of those things where you put your foot in the door. Once they admit and once you show that the word ethnos, right, the word ethnos can be used in reference to the nation of Israel and non-Israelites, that now puts your foot in the door to now prove who the Israelites are, to prove who the ethnos or ethni or the Gentiles who are receiving salvation are. Now I can just, okay, well, what about these prophecies? What about this? You can't just use the whole thing, oh, Gentile just means non-Israelites. Well, over here, you just admitted that this word could possibly mean an Israelite or a non-Israelite. I don't see why Israelites I don't see why people just deal with the English. It literally hurts you. It literally hurts you in the realm of debating theology.
Gentile, right? You come into this word where we know that what it's talking about, right? We know what it's talking about. We don't
Well,
have to
brother,
assume, right?
I don't think you understand my point. Like when you see the word Gentiles, it derives from the word ethnos, where we get ethnicity from. That word gets translated to heathen, nation, or Gentile. And the place where you went to in Acts, it was Acts 26, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's the same thing. So that word can't just
Hold
mean
on.
that.
What does that
Brother,
prove,
let
though?
me finish. I'm almost done.
That proves, you dummy, that proves that you can't just say these are non-Israelites. The context around it has to now dictate who these ethni or ethnos are. If it's talking about redemption, okay, let's see who's supposed to be redeemed. Paul, the same person who you like to deify, and like how all you Christians like to deify, say the redemption is for Israelites. Like, not only does Paul say it, the Lord has made it very plain from Genesis all the way to really the entire Bible that redemption is only for Israel. And what are they being redeemed for? Redeemed from the curse of the law. Because, like, let's show something real fast. Because they love Galatians so much. Since you love Galatians so much, watch this. When you go to Galatians like 3, and they like to use this too, which I don't see why Christians, Hebrew Israelites ever struggle with this either. Yet they love Galatians so much, and they want to talk about redemption all the time. And these people have been redeemed. Watch this. Galatians 3:13. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law. Now let's just slow down and look at the language. Christ has redeemed. We're talking about redemption. That's the subject. Us. What does the word us mean? Us means Paul being the author and his audience together. That's who the us is. Not to whoever picks up the Bible in 2025, but around the first century churches in Galatia that Paul was over. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Who was under the law that the Bible says? Israel. Who made a blood covenant, a blood sacrifice covenant with the Lord? Israel. So how could these Galatians, right, be non-Israelites or be Gentiles, right, being natural born Gentiles, if the redemption that Paul is talking about is redemption from the law of Moses? That's a problem. So we can't just say like, how would I even put that in words? We can't just say stupid things like this, bro. We can't just say words and they have no type of value, and we can't just ass pull like how Christians do. These are things Hebrew Israelites need to know. People who practice in the faith and people who actually debate to make your points a little bit stronger. You don't have to always have a precept. Just slow down and just read what's being said, because a Christian will use this on you. Oh, we don't have to keep the law no more because Christ has redeemed us from the law, so we don't have to do that. That's what a Christian will say. That's how they will use this verse. But you can use this verse a different type of way. That's how we have to slow down. So that's why, and that leads us all the way back to the original point that I made about how that word ethnos or ethni, being the plural version of it, Gentiles, right? If that word can be used for non-Israelites and Israelites alone, we have to look at the context around it. If, like I said before, if redemption's a context, we can go to verses like this to show you who the redemption is for. Okay, if the redemption is being redeemed from the law of Moses, who was under that? The Israelites. These Gentiles, these ethni or the goyim, these specific ones have to be Israelites, or the Bible is literally divided against itself. That's how you make points strong. And that's the point I was really trying to make to him, if he would just slow down and stop being emotional. But Christianity, you can't stop and slow down. You can't stop and slow down and not be emotional, bro. Because a lot of y'all, a lot of these BLACKs, right, are on their period. Like, think about it. When you see when you see Christians who like Christian men on TikTok, on YouTube, or various places, if you see the way they deal with people, they're overly emotional, like like a woman on their menstrual, right? You can't reason with them like a woman on their menstrual. You can't even when you're coming with logic, you're wrong, like a woman on their menstrual. I'm just saying these are just deductions, right? These are these are damn. Oh man, these are just deductions. But yeah, let's go back into this. Right. Shalom, Shalom, Deshaun Dillon, man. Shalom. Let's go back into this.
That word, you can't just lock down the word Gentiles or ethnos to mean a non-Israelite in every sense. Like that, you can't do that.
Okay, brother, this is what I'm telling you. Now, what you should do, show us where an Israelite is called a Gentile.
I just did it, you dummy. I just did it. I literally, the word Gentile that you like to use, like the pretext he just gave before in the very beginning of this is Acts 26. That word right there for Gentiles is ethnos, or ethnos. I showed you an example where Jews are called ethnos. And you just pretend because you wasn't prepared for that. You're used to Hebrew Israelites going to places where you're familiar with, but you wasn't familiar with that one. And now you got your foot in your mouth. I just did that.
Well, this passage right here shows you that the word that gets translated into Gentile, they're making reference to our place and nation. That's Jews who are saying that.
Okay, listen, do you understand how he's using the word, right? You know what the context of how he's using the word.
I know, and he's making context,
okay, so
context to the nation of Israel and their land.
So how is he using the word for an Israelite, not talking about them as a nation of people, where you get that word ethnos from? Okay?
Because an Israelite derives from the nation of Israel. So he's making...
Yeah, dummy. Well, show me where singular. What if that singular person derives from a nation that's made in reference to the word ethnos or Gentile? That's still answering your question. I know you thought you were eating. I know you thought you ate right there, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it. Like you're not.
I'm gonna read it again and I'll make that point.
Okay, we get
where
that.
It says John 11.
That, right?
Brother, let me.
No, you don't have to do that. I get that. That's what he is saying. I get that.
Okay, got you.
So how do we know? That's what I'm telling you. Now, show me where an Israelite is called a Gentile.
And Israelites are called Gentiles.
Show me where
Romans 9 and 24. Romans 9 and 24.
All right.
When you go to Romans 9 verse 24, he says also whom we call. I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna read the passage what he's quoting, because Paul quotes in verses 24 through 26. He quotes a passage in Hosea.
I'm aware of it. Go ahead.
Yes. Right. Well, if you're aware of it, then what's the contention then?
My understanding is not. I have a different understanding of.
Okay, well,
I'll read the verse.
Well, what is your understanding of Hosea 1 and 10 then? Because he's quoting Hosea 1 and 10, and that prophecy has nothing to do with heathen.
Yeah, let's look at Romans 9 right quick.
Go ahead
and see what he's talking about here. Okay.
Are you still going to address this passage though?
Which one?
Like
Romans 9?
Romans 9 and 24 through 20. Does it?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
26, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Okay, so it says, even us whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles, as he saith also in Hosea. You see how he said, as he saith?
Mm-hmm. It's right? A fulfillment.
Right. No, it's not a fulfillment. It's just saying, as he saith also.
Okay, we can get
just there. Like he said in Hosea, when he was talking to Israel, he's saying the same thing now for these Gentiles. That's all he's saying here. That's it.
Okay, let's go. He's
to not saying that he's not saying that they are Gentiles. He is quoting using.
Wait. Hold up, nigga. He's saying the same thing, the same way the Lord said this about the children of Israel. It's the same way he said this about the non-Israelites. So now I don't remember if he clarifies or not. I don't know if he's talking about God saying this or is he talking about Paul saying this? Because here's the problem with that. Where did God say that? Because when I read from Genesis all the way to Malachi, I don't see that. Nowhere. And if you're saying Paul says this, how can Paul now remix prophecy? Paul can now say prophecy just means just the same way God said this to his people about Christ and them being redeemed. Well, I just mean it could just be for these people too. That's what. Like, if that's the case, why do y'all say we remix prophecy then? If Paul's allowed to do it, why can't we do it? Not saying we do, but y'all say we do. So why is it a problem when we do? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, y'all, like you just it's like what's about to happen from this point in the next 5 minutes. This man is literally going to pull so many ass pulls. I've never seen so many ass pulls back to back. Like that's what we're about to see, and that's what we're about to witness. So just remember that. Remember the points I just made. Just remember this.
Hosea 1 or Hosea 2 to suggest that what the same way he felt about Israel is the same way he feel about these Gentiles now. That's all he's saying.
I would disagree with that, and the reason why I would disagree with that.
That's what I understand.
Wait, real fast. Real fast. If that's this, if he means okay, I think he means God. So if God means that, then why in the same chapter, 13 verses before that, in verse 13, does he say I hated Esau? If God's now calling the Gentiles, meaning other nations, Esau is a nation, because you see in Genesis where it says and these shall be two nations, one people should be stronger than the other. So Esau is a nation, the nation of Edom, right? If the Lord says he hates them in the New Testament, in the same chapter, how can he say he's calling them? How can he say now he feels this way, now they can be God's people? What kind of Christopher Cross God do you believe in? Like that makes no sense. None.
Brother, hold on first. Let's go to Hosea 1 where he's quoting this though. Like we can't allow interpretations of Paul to now override what the prophecy says.
Go ahead and
okay, I got you.
And I don't know if y'all heard what I said, right? Because he just kept on saying go ahead because he wasn't prepared for this. I said we can't just allow Paul to now dictate what the rest of the Bible says. The man who's the least of the literally the least of the apostles got corrected corrected about what he taught about Christ and in his epistles, and killed the church and persecuted the church. This man cannot now override what the rest of the Bible and the Lord says and his son says. Like that, it can't be that way. Because if you're going to say that we've been waiting, so all the way from Genesis, if you're reading the Bible chronologically, we've been waiting for Paul this entire time. That's what you have to believe. From Genesis to Revelation, we have been waiting on Christ. We ain't been waiting on the apostles. We ain't been waiting on the prophets. We've been waiting on Paul to tell us what to do since the beginning of the Bible. That's what he believes. And that's what Christianity believes.
I'll read it right now. You got the Hosea 1:10, right? Hosea 1:10, it says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it should be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and anoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel." This has nothing to do with non-Israelites. This has everything to do.
Where, and like I just read that in Hosea 1. So where in Hosea 1 do we see this making any reference to the heathen? Nowhere. This is just Israel. Israel departs from their father through their wickedness, right? through their sins, through their transgressions, and become just like the Gentiles, like all the rest of the prophets say, namely Ezekiel, right? And they come back to the Father. And the way they come back to the Father is through the Son. That's that one head they anoint themselves, and they come out of the land. And that coming out of the land is salvation. So if this is always originally meant to be for Israelites, being the house of Israel, the house of Judah, and for the non-Israelites as well, why do we not see them coming out of the land? Oh, I know, because this passage has nothing to do with the heathen. That's what you call problematic.
With Israelites not being called Israelites, but being called something else, and then God calls them his children again.
Okay, great. So now, when Paul is referencing this verse, he is saying the same way the Most High felt for them in Hosea is the same way he feels for these Gentiles. That's all he's.
Then why he didn't say it then? Why does Paul have to be the one to bear? Why does Paul have to be the one to bear that message, if that's the truth? Where did he say like, look at this, right? Now we're getting some precepts. Let's get some precepts, right? So let's start with Malachi 3. I want to start backwards to prove a point, because this isn't the point I want to. This verse isn't the point I want to prove, but it supports it, right? So Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. The Lord doesn't change. The reason, and I say this all the time, the reason why he doesn't change is because he's outside of time. To change, you have to be subject to time. That's why the Lord doesn't change. If the Lord shows anything part of his characteristics or his nature, that's who he is. Knowing that, let's read Deuteronomy 10. Deuteronomy 10, verse 15. If now he feels like that, but he himself didn't say that. We see various places where the Lord went out of his way to speak, right? When, like, even in the New Testament, when the Lord said, "This is my beloved son, hear ye him." Why didn't he say, why wasn't this message about, I feel the same way for the non-Israelites than I do for the Israelites? Like, why? So Deuteronomy 10 and 15, only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. So when the Lord loves somebody, he establishes them above everybody. How can he love everybody then? Nobody would be established above anybody. That makes no sense. And even inside of this, no, brother, you can't come on. We're teaching right now. So even inside of this, right? He literally says, the Lord only had delight in your fathers. If right before this verse in Malachi chapter 3, he himself says he doesn't change, and us knowing that, he says he only loves the children of Israel and establishes them above everybody else. We're not going to get to the New Testament and now say he changes. Because if you say now he feels his way towards the heathen after he sent his son to die, that means the Lord changes, right? You know, it's all good, brother. I'm just going right now. I don't want to interrupt it. I don't want to mess up the flow, right? You would have to say he changes. And the James even reaffirms this in James 1. Watch this. James 1 and 17. It says, I wonder what the other translations say, actually, because the KJV is going to Old Testament, not Old Testament, not Old Testament, King's English. Yeah, James 1 and 17. I'm reading ESV. It says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from heaven. I say heaven, from above, coming down from the Father of lights. The Father is who? The Lord, Yahweh. With whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. In the old manuscripts say of turning, he doesn't change. So if Malachi says, we're really speaking the word of the Lord, if he says he doesn't change, and James, right, the brother of Christ, says the Lord doesn't change, what am I supposed to believe? You want me to believe something that's contrary to what God's nature is. That's a problem, and that's why I say he's the king of this man. Dwayne is the king of ass pools. This is why he likes this format of YouTube Live, not YouTube, TikTok Live, where you can mute people and not have to deal with points. Because if you ever had to deal with points, if you ever got in the ring with me in a formal debate, or really most Hebrew Israelites, it would be a problem for you. This is why they do things like this. But let's keep going.
I would disagree with that. Like because you would have to.
You can disagree with that. That's fine.
Brother, okay, let me show you why I disagree with that. You have to now go to Hosea 1 and show that in Hosea 1.
No, I do not. That's why I said.
Then, if you're not, brother,
I don't have to do that.
Dwayne,
I have understanding.
Okay, Dwayne, let me show you something. If you're not going to do that, what you're saying is now Paul.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I have understood. I don't have to show you my point in the Bible because I have an understanding. You know, that's called a presupposition. I believe salvation is open to everybody. I don't care what the word says. I'll find a way to make it work. And so if I have that presupposition, whatever you're showing me doesn't matter. What God said doesn't matter. That's a presupposition. So Paul now has to redefine what the prophecy says and what God says.
Paul can remix the prophecies then.
He's not remixing nothing.
Well, the prophecy doesn't say what you said, though.
Okay, listen. He's not giving the prophecy. He starts off by saying, as he saith also. That is telling you, just like he said for them in.
Where does he say that at? Like, where does he say that at? Let me see, Romans 9. I don't believe he says that. Like he said also there. Is it come to pass? He says also in OC. Yeah, okay, perfect. Right. I was wondering. I just didn't believe it said that. But even if it does say that, it doesn't prove his point. Because we know what the prophecy, we read the prophecy. Like it says what it says. So what he's saying is now it's either one of two things. It can't be both. Either the Lord says what he said and you're just adding to this, or you're allowing Paul to add to this, or Paul can now redefine what prophecies mean. Like that those are the only two conclusions you can come to.
Hosea, he's saying the same thing for these Gentiles. How the Gentiles and the other nations were not his people. We know they weren't his people. But he is saying, just like he told Israel that, he's saying that for this people. That's all he is saying.
And I would just say like
you disagree. Fine. So what?
That's fine. We're moving on.
Yeah, what does your disagreement mean?
Okay, brother. I'm just saying like.
It means I'm not subject to your dumbass understand your ass pool understanding. That's what that means. I disagree with that. I don't feel like arguing a point with somebody who will just literally just lie on what that said. Next topic. That's what that means. You dummy. Matter of fact, y'all give me 1 second. Hold up. It's a lot. Y'all give me 1 second. That's weird. All right, we back. I just had to collect this. I had to collect my plate real fast. Let's get it.
I don't have
All
to.
right, now,
like, I don't have to force you to agree with it. You don't have to force me. Let's move on though.
Right? Yeah, you
Right.
took me places.
So-
Now I'm gonna take you places. It's my
Okay,
turn.
perfect.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now,
But we're coming back to Romans 9 when it's my turn though.
Okay, well, let's stay here then. Let's stay in Romans 9. Let's stay here.
I want to talk about verse 4 then.
Okay.
Because what is that like when it says in Romans 9 and 24?
I got you.
Okay, brother. I know.
Look,
I
hold on,
wanna...
man. Hold on, Sakari. Hold on one second.
What's up?
Hey, CJ. If you can't be productive in the chat, man, I'm gonna just block you so you don't even be able to see this no more. Like, just be productive. I don't have a reason to be mad about nothing. We dialoguing. You understand that? Nobody. I don't have to be mad. All right. So just relax in the chat. Be productive in the chat, or just get blocked. Okay. Well, block him. Somebody block him. I don't care. Just block him.
Okay, brother Dwayne. So in Romans 9 and 24, we disagree that what is that calling that they're getting?
What you mean?
Where it says, I'm gonna read it again.
It says, "I will call to my people."
No, verse 24.
Even unto us whom he hath called, not of the Jews.
What is that calling?
What you mean? What is that called?
I don't know how to phrase it any better than that, brother.
Call to repentance.
Okay, call to repentance. Is that the adoption?
So that it's important because, like, I wanted to move on to another topic, but I realized that part kind of helps me. What is that calling? Like in Romans 9 and 24. I'm not even showing my screen. Romans 9:24 says, even us whom he have called, not of the Jews only, but also the Gentiles. We look at the word calling right here. It just in the Greek, it just means an invitation. Right? Like called, invitation, called by, owned by, really like called by, right? An invitation. So when did that happen to the heathen? When did the Lord do that? Because what I know through the scriptures, I see the Lord only bearing rule over us. Let me see something real fast. Where is that at? Yeah, Isaiah 63:19. I need to get that one. Isaiah 63, verse 19. Isaiah 63 and 19. It says, "We are thine, Israel. Thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name." So where was their invitation? I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not that. And the thing is, he gets mad because I say, why are you isolating points to ask? Because you're making points off of this text, and I'm asking you about it. Like, if you're going to say I'm wrong about a certain point in this text, you have to have an overarching understanding of what this text is, what it's saying, and all of it. Or else you're just ass pulling, which I wouldn't be surprised because he's been doing that from the beginning of this. So that's why I'm asking this question. And since he act like he didn't know, I try to jog his memory by asking him certain questions.
Okay, brother. It's I don't know why you just like.
I mean, I'm just asking you, like,
all these little chopped up points you're doing. Like, you say, what is the call? It's called to repentance. Per Acts 17:30.
Okay, brother. It don't have to be that. It don't have to be. You don't have to take such a.
We don't got to deal with the chopped up points. I said it's the call to repentance. Okay, is that
brother,
the adoption?
okay,
What you
now,
mean is that the adoption? Israel
now,
was the adopted.
Wait, say that one more time.
Israel was the adopted.
Okay, perfect.
The adoptions were for Israel.
Okay, great. So can you explain verse 4 then?
Verse 4. Who are Israel? Yeah, let's read the first verse. I don't like when y'all do that. Let's get the whole picture of it right quick. I mean,
it's not going to change the context, though.
Well, it does. It does.
It doesn't, but go ahead.
It does. You'll see. I say the truth in Christ.
It doesn't change the context. You started verse 1 to try to think of some shit before you got to verse 4. Verse 4 literally just goes off into other things. Verse 1 through 3 literally is just Paul just talking.
Christ, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to my flesh, who are Israelites. First thing we see here, he is to the people he's writing to. He is letting the people he's writing to know that he wishes he could be a curse for his brethren's sake. Now he tells you who his brothers are.
And what does that got to do with anything we're about to be talking about from verse 4 all the way down?
Who are Israelites? Am I lying? Is that what he's doing? Yes, Dwayne. He is telling the readers of this letter. He is telling them who his brethren and his kinsmen are. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises. So what is verse 4 talking about, Dwayne? Well, verse 4 is Paul explaining to the listeners or the readers of this letter who his brethren is and who his kinsmen are. That's all that verse is saying.
Not the readers of this letter, the people who he sent this letter to. Like, don't like, I hate when Christians, I can't stand when Christians do this with Paul's epistles. They're not written to you. They're not written to me. They're not written to any Christian around the world in 2025. They're written to the people in these first century churches who Paul had authority over. And they need to be treated as such. Like, damn, like, like that's not a difficult concept to grasp. Especially when he mentions things that only matter for that time, just like with the head coverings. Like with a lot of Hebrew Israelites, like when they talk about you can't pray your prophesy with your head covered, Paul wrote that to the church of Corinth. He didn't mention that in any of his epistles to any other church outside of the church of Corinth. You know why that is? Because at that time, matter of fact, that's a whole different rabbit hole, which I have a video for, right? You would bring dishonor to the ministry if you did that as a man over there in Corinth in the first century, right? And the opposite way for women as well. That's what he's talking about. Not a Israelite in 2025 wearing a fitted cap. Like that, like you're talking about things that don't. Y'all have to stop reading the Bible like that, bro. Like you're reading it like Christians.
But what about the adoption, the glory, the covenants, and giving of the law, the service, and the promises?
All of that explains who his brother and his kinsmen are.
So when it says it pertains to them,
pertain is not in the text. That was added. That's
I agree. I agree, though.
So why are you hinging on it? Well,
if we take pertaineth out of that, it says the same thing. To whom the adoption, the glory, the covenants.
It doesn't change what I said.
Yeah, great point, nigga. It's not there. Pertaineth isn't there in the Greek, but if you take pertaineth out, it literally says the same thing. Cool. Nice little. Let me give you a gold star for knowing what the italicized letters are in the New Testament.
God and the promises,
right? And it doesn't change what I said. He is explaining to the readers who his brethren and his kin. Let's read verse 3 again. Yeah. For I could wish myself accursed from Christ. He's wishing he could be accursed for his brethren's sake, so that they may obtain salvation. That's the whole point of him writing this to these people, right? So
then what's the point of those topics that he mentioned, though?
When you get what you mean,
he's
giving a detail of who his brothers is.
Well, no.
He's telling these people these people are the group of people that had the promises, they had the covenant, they had the law, and they had the adoption. But they were still abiding in unbelief. So he was wishing that he could be accursed so that they could come into the fullness of the grace that is given, that is allotted to them.
Okay, Dwayne, let's say I agree with you for a second, right? So when he mentions these things, like the adoption, like we have to see it in the Greek. So we have to see it.
Dominic, what are you talking about? Who changed the topic? Who changed it? The topic currently is Romans 9. We're talking about Romans. Nobody left Romans 9. What are we talking about, bro?
The adoption. Do we see that offer to like non-Israelites anywhere in the Bible? Because it only exists 5 places in the book.
Okay, brother. This is why I wanted to show my part now. But okay, so do you understand that both kingdoms were prophesied to be redeemed? You believe that?
Yes, sir, but that's not answering my question.
Oh, we talking about see this man talking about I'm changing the subject. This man literally just talking about something completely different in this video. right after he's talking about somebody changing the subject. Where you know it talks about the both kingdoms are prophesied to be redeemed. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now currently. Nothing. You did when you said you had to go. You did when you said you had to go and to go. It's coming up. Okay, cool. We'll see. Remind me when we get there.
What is your question?
Like we see right here where it says adoption in verse 4. Is that word? Do we see that word used anywhere else in the Bible for non-Israelites?
We don't have to see it used for any other Israelite.
Well, brother,
hold on. Just like
okay,
we don't have to see non-Israelites getting the new covenant. We don't have to see it because they wasn't given no old covenant to need a new covenant. Secondly,
now, see, no, Dominic, I'm not sure now. Like, are you a Christian? Are you a Christian, Dominic? I just need to know. I feel like you are, but you know, I really don't want to just be presumptuous. Come on, Dominic. You've been talking in the chat this whole time. Yeah. Now when the spotlight's on you, you have nothing to say. Come on, man. Are you a Christian or are you not a Christian? Because you made a Christian Christ. What is this? What is it? What is this? I don't know what that is. All right. Now he's talking about I changed the subject, and it's coming up. This man just said, because I'm not sure if you've decided to pick Dwayne's side or not. But Dwayne just said, I don't have to show where the adoption or the new covenant is given to the heathen, right? We just have to understand that it is. That's what this man said. It says a Christ like, yeah, cool, man, right? This is your champion. The man that said this entire time I've been having to prove my entire point with this guy. This man says I don't have to prove anything about who the adoption is for and who the new covenant is for. He doesn't have like that. Just imagine that. That's the man who's right, and that's the man whose side you're on. What a surprise that is. What a surprise that
else in the Bible for non-Israelites?
We don't have to see it used for any other Israelite.
Well, brother,
Just like we don't have to see non-Israelites getting the new covenant. We don't have to see it because they wasn't given no old covenant to need a new covenant.
That honestly, I'm gonna be real honest. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard a Christian say. I don't have to show the heathen being offered the new covenant because they've never got an old covenant. Well, let's say you're right. It would just be a covenant given into them, right? Why then is that covenant being mentioned in Hebrews chapter 8 and it doesn't mention them? If it's supposed to be a covenant that's just supposed to be, because that to them it would honestly still be new because they haven't been given to it. It still would be a new covenant. It's still happening in the future, right? Why wouldn't they be mentioned? That makes no sense. The only way to rationalize that is he's trying to pull like what these apologists do, these Caucasian apologists do. I'm white and I'm right. That's what's happening here. You fully adopted the spirit of a white man when you've done this. I don't have to show it. I just know and I have understanding that it means that it's for them too. That's hilarious. Imagine a Hebrew Israelite saying that. Imagine a Hebrew Israelite saying, I don't know. I don't have to prove that salvation is only for Israelites. I just know that it's there. Imagine us saying, imagine the freaking round of videos that would be on YouTube if I said some dumb shit like that. Imagine that. That's crazy. And that's why we don't see this man still typing in the chat. That's your king. But I changed the subject. This man can say this completely unchecked, but I changed the subject. Man, fuck out of here.
Secondly, for this group, we wouldn't have to see a non-Israelite being called those that are adopted, because they wasn't adopted until he chose them as a nation. You understand that, right?
Okay.
So he didn't choose.
Look at the whole team. I'm really trying to play. Look at that dumb shit. Right. He just cut in the video right here. He cuts himself. How can we be adopted? How can the adoption happen when we were chosen if the adoption is a spirit coming into you after acknowledging Christ's death? Like, you don't even know what these topics are. Let's read something real fast. Let's read something. Like, you don't even, like, this is the man who believed that he cut me, though. You don't even understand these topics, my nigga. It's crazy. Look at this. You're not the spirit. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna skip around because, really to get the point is how do I join your Discord? Do I not have the link in there? Hold on, let me get you real fast before I forget. Oh shoot. Where is that at? Let me get you set up. If you want to say before I forget. Oh, Mataji gonna have to do that. Hold up. That's why it ain't been working. Hey, Yakima, tell Matati to drop the Discord link invite in the chat since you're watching. Matati, I got you, Yak. I'm sorry, you, Aaron. Matati's gonna drop either Matati or Yakima is gonna drop the Discord link in the chat. I don't know why it's saying invalid. Yeah, he got you. What he said, God. He said, bro, he was really about to explain what he meant until you change the subject. Is coming. That's cool, bro. You know, that's cool. That's cool. He's really about to, after getting cut for, let me see how long we've been.
Didn't choose any other nation for his people, so they don't need to be called the.
Okay, 16 after being cut for 16 minutes and then cutting himself. I'm gonna change the subject. Does that change the fact that he was obliterated up until this point? Does that change the fact of that? Does it really change the fact of that? Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Tell the audience the Discord link is in the bio. Don't put it in the chat. It's not in the bio. This guy, man. Whatever, bro.
Adoption.
Okay, brother.
That's why they are grafted. That's why they are grafted in.
Okay, brother.
Wait. See that? Yeah, y'all made me forget. Y'all made me forget the point I was trying to make right there. He doesn't understand the concept of what the adoption is. So let's read this in Romans 8. Romans 8 and 9. It says, "But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none his." The Spirit of Christ dwelling inside of you, right? The Spirit of Christ has to dwell inside of you. Watch this, verse 11. "But if the Spirit of him that is raised up in Jesus, or Yahushua, from the dead dwell in you, he that is raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by the Spirit that dwelleth in you." When was the Spirit given out? The Spirit was given out after Christ died. So how can when we were chosen, we got the adoption, but Christ didn't exist yet? Oh yeah, like Aaron, he put the Discord link in the chat. All right. So how can the adoption exist prior to Christ? That concept, how can it? Well, I mean, we see allusions to it, but we don't see it being fully actualized before Christ's death. So how are you gonna say that happened when we were chosen? You don't know when this happened. You use a dummy.
Israelites.
We don't have to see it used for any other Israelite.
Well, brother,
hold on. Just like
Okay,
we
go
don't
ahead.
have to see non-Israelites getting the new covenant. We don't have to see it because they wasn't given no old covenant to need a new covenant. Secondly, for this group, we wouldn't have to see a non-Israelite being called those that are adopted, because they wasn't adopted until he chose them as a nation. You understand that, right? So he didn't choose any other nation for his people, so they don't need to be called the adoption.
Okay, brother.
That's why they are grafted. That's why they are grafted in.
Okay, brother. Before we move to any type of grafting, I don't want to leave this spot for a second. I heard you pull from the Blue Letter Bible app. Can you go to the Blue Letter Bible app and then look at those usages?
Usages for what?
Because you said we don't need to see it, but when you look at these usages, I think that's kind of imperative for salvation.
Why?
But I mean, you'll see if you pull it up, or I can read it.
You can do it. You pull it up.
Okay, perfect. Right. That's G. The word for adoption right here is G5206. Weathesia. It's the first usage. It says that relationship which God was pleased to establish between Himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations. Oh, that's important. The second one, the nation.
Look at that laugh. Oh shit, I'm cut. How can it be for everybody? How can okay? Now let's run this argument back again. We don't have to see the adoption being made in reference to non-Israelites, but we have to just understand that it's for them, right? That's if you have the understanding. Then I read weathesia, the usages by people who you respect as scholars, and it says the relationship which God was pleased to establish between Himself and the Israelites in preference to all of the nations. So how then is it for everybody? No, nigga, no.
Nature and condition of true disciples in Christ, who by receiving the Spirit of God into their souls became sons of God, the blessed state looked for in the future life after the visible return of Christ from heaven.
So double cut, because that you said the adoption happened before. You said the concept of the adoption happened prior to Christ. It can't be, because if the adoption is the sonship that brings you back to the Father through the Spirit of Christ. So you double cut. It's crazy.
All of that is salvific.
So I'm glad you are reading the Blue Letter. So you accept the Blue Letter, right? You accept what it says.
I accept it when it goes with the flow of the Bible.
Now see, where's Dominic again? He said, I'm trying to change the subject. This man he heard what was said here. And, you want to say the Blue Letter? What about this about the Blue? And then that nigga trying to change the subject. This is crazy.
Come on, man. Hold on. Do you accept the Blue Letter? You can't just accept it
agrees with the Bible.
You can't just accept it on certain terms. It's either you accept it or you don't.
Brother, I'm gonna give you an example. Right? When you see,
brother, like Dominic, he conceded to it because he was confounded. That's what happened to it. You have to make a concession when you lose a battle or a war. That's what happened, Dominic. Your king is lost. That's what's happening. I know you love sweet white Jesus so much, and it just hurts you to see one of your fellow freaking moronic people, right? Your fellow morons get confounded like this, but you have to just realize your God is fake, right? Your sweet white Jesus is fake. He doesn't exist. He never did, right? The only God that exists is Yahweh from heavens, right? And His Son Yahweh Shai, being the Son of God. And he told us, hey, I would denounce him too, right? I would denounce him too. But like I was saying, he wants us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to have everlasting life. That's the God we believe in, not the one that he believes in. But yeah, I would denounce him too after what just happened here, right? God.
Mamzer, like the word that gets translated from mamzer or bastard in the Bible, that the definitions it gives is incorrect. That's one. But everything else, as far as like if I look at all those usages, I can show that in the Bible. So I'm going to agree with it.
All right.
And you know what that's called? Sincerity. The source that I was calling from, the Blue Letter Bible app, has errors in it. Like I named the one, the mamzer. Jewish people influenced that definition and the way it's defined in there, and you can't find that their definition of what a mamzer is. You can't find an example of that in the Bible. They influenced that. But other things I can see in the Bible, like all the 3 or 4 definitions I've seen for adoption, there's a Bible verse for them, and I agree with it, and I was willing to say that. Some people are just that, and some people were willing to say, no, I don't got no errors. No, it's inerrant. That's what and what just happened right here is what you saw from me is called sincerity. That's what I gave him, and that's something he's not accustomed to. That's why he's laughing and being all weird about it, because he is not a sincere person.
Man, so
I mean, you use it too. So I mean, I don't even see the point of trying to make that point.
I'm gonna explain this again.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain this again. Why non-Israelites don't need to. You don't need to see the word. The word, that's really a word for word fallacy, but we don't have to see the word adoption given to the other nations, because when Paul is explaining to these people who he's talking about his brethren. You wouldn't have to see the word adoption for a non-Israelite, because Paul is not talking about non-Israelites when he's explaining who his brethren and who his kinsmen are. I see that you want to hinge on that word adoption because it's talking about Israel, but that just goes to show us who Paul is talking to.
So that means he's talking. So okay then. So in his epistles, he's talking to Israelites then. If we're gonna make that point, because if and I did this, I pulled the same thing on Jim. I showed you all 5 places where this is used. If like how Dominic said, if you're gonna concede on this and it's only talking to Israelites, and you're saying that goes to show you who Paul's talking to, Paul is talking to Israelites. Like is this your king?
Goes to show us that these people that he's talking to don't know that his brethren had the promises, the adoption, and the covenants and the law. That's what it shows. Hold on, brother. I ain't interrupting.
My bad.
That's what it shows us. So the people he's writing to had to be put aware of who his kinsmen and who his brothers are. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what they had to do. Otherwise, he wouldn't have to tell them who his kinsman and who his brother. He wouldn't have to say that the Israelites that pertain the adoption, the glory to come, because the people he would be talking to knew that that's who he was talking about. First of all,
okay, so brother.
Now, and that's cap. Just like the dude, if you look at the chat for this video right here, that's cap, because you're assuming, you're really making a presupposition and assumption. Because when you look at 1 Corinthians 10, let's look at 1 Corinthians 10. We're talking about the people. We're talking about the people who Paul's writing to. 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Moreover, brethren, because he made a big point about the brethren, like it proved anything. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers, mine and yours, were under the cloud and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. That's the people who he's talking to in these churches are Israelites who are called something different. That's why you see in Hosea 1, and Paul makes reference to Hosea 1 in Romans chapter 9. They're called something else. You should be called the sons of the living God, because y'all forgotten who you are through Hellenization, through the various diasporas that you've gone through, and now you believe in Corinthians, Ephesians, Thessalonians, Romans. That's why I have to that's why Paul is telling his brethren, the same brethren in First Corinthians, is just like in the same brethren in Romans, right? All these things pertain to you. You're not like you're so low level. It's crazy.
Why doesn't he use that same type of language every time he mentions the gospel? Like not the gospel, the adoption. Like when we go to
Hey, hold on. Hey, don't nobody mute nobody. Don't nobody mute nobody, y'all. I'm not doing that.
why am I muted? Did you mute me?
I didn't mute you, man. I did not mute you. Somebody else did it. Don't mute nobody, y'all.
That's why.
And that's a sign to confound. When your audience who has controls over the mute button or whatever start trying to mute me while I'm cutting you, that means you're losing. That's a sign of you're getting your ass whooped.
On the stage. Don't mute nobody on the stage.
Now, what I was saying is, why doesn't he use that same type of language?
I just explained to you, brother.
Let me finish. You didn't fully hear my point. Like Proverbs says, like a man who answers something before he hears it is folly unto him. Just hear what I have to say real fast. Now, still staying on the adoption just for a minute. When we go look at Galatians 4, why doesn't he use that same type of language like how you're saying in Galatians 4 and 4 through 5?
Let's read it. We're going all these places before I could get to what I want to say.
Okay, after this one, we can just go to wherever you want to, brother.
To redeem them that were under the curse, that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because ye are sons of God, because ye are sons, God sent.
Well, that's the point. That's the point I wanted to get to, like 4 or 5. Why did it say to redeem them that are under the law?
When the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law. Who are under the law?
The Israelites.
The ones that had the adoption, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
now they have the adoption at this point.
To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
Yeah,
were you already the adoption of sons?
When?
Before Christ came, were y'all already the adoption of? Did y'all already have that title, the adoption? Were y'all already adopted?
No, because the adoption doesn't come until Christ died.
So when he says in Romans, when you went to that verse that you wanted to go to, right? Who pertained to the adoption, right? You hinged on that word adoption. When he said pertained or that had the adoption, when were they adopted?
When Christ died.
So that's when they were adopted. They wasn't adopted before Christ,
because
right?
The adoption, you can't, like, let's look at the word. I'm gonna look at the word again. No, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Well, it
ain't changed since you just read.
Well, the question you're asking me right now,
the question he's asking shows he doesn't listen, and he also doesn't know the Bible. That's why I said what he said. That's why I said what I said. How are you equipped at all to defeat Hebrew Israelites if you don't even understand a concept that's solely New Testament based? Imagine that.
If I look at the definition one more time, like it'll clear up the point.
Go
like
ahead.
The second usage, it says the nature and condition of true disciples in Christ. So you can't have the adoption prior to Christ's death.
Okay, good, great.
So the adoption happens after his death.
Great. So now it says to redeem them that were under the.
Now we're going to speed past it. now after being corrected and confounded, we're going to just not acknowledge it and keep on talking. Imagine that. Now, if that had happened to me, he would have stopped right there. We're not going nowhere. You gotta love the hometown advantage, man.
Law, right?
Yes, sir.
Who were under the law?
The Israelites.
So they needed to be redeemed from the law, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so nobody else need to be redeemed from the law, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so now that we understand this, right? So we understand that Israel, both kingdoms were prophesied to be restored and to be redeemed. Both, we understand this. So now when we go to Romans 11, where it says where it talks about the Gentiles being grafted in, we understand.
Well, I'm just saying this. I'm not trying to just make another point. I only got like 10 more minutes. I only got like 10 more minutes, and I don't want to leave here without you going to where you specifically wanted to go to. So like I want to grant you that type of you're granting me respect. I want to grant you respect. So if that's where you want to go to, if that's where you to go to,
I was only there because I was only there because you took us back. You took us to Galatians, but
let's go where you want to go.
All right. Okay. So let me.
And when all else fails, when the cuts happen, and when salvation gets proved to be only for Israel, when things happen, you have to say now they're grafted in, so now they can be a part of it. What did Dominic say? You ran. How did I run? I literally. That's crazy. This man's been getting confounded this entire time, and apparently me having 10 minutes. Because at this point in time, what is it like? I'm 30 minutes from the house. I'm from the house to camp. 30 minutes. 1:30. It's 1:20 at this point. I'm not about to sit on here. Romans 11 literally is you have to go point for point on that. I promise this man, because I've been dealing with all of my points up until this point, like just proving my point, and him wanting to deal with it. And he said, okay, I want to go to my point. So me being respectful, I told this man I have 10 minutes left because it's 1:20. I got to leave at 1:30 to get the camp on time. So if you want to deal with this point, we can deal with it, but I only have 10 minutes. That's not running. The fuck? Bro, hold up. Wait, watch this. Wait, Shalom, Maz.
Shalom, God. Shalom.
This nigga will talk about I'm running.
Man, we not trying to hear all that, bro.
Bro, I have formal debates. I literally created a presentation to destroy Jim about Romans 11. What the hell does it look like me running from Romans 11? We're not afraid of Romans 11.
Besides you, they saying you running from Romans 11. Dwayne double talks because remember, he told you that the Gentiles went over under the old covenant, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why he teaches that Deuteronomy 29 is the Gentiles going into the old covenant. Like I watched this man literally double talk every time he gets on here with an Israelite. He changes his whole doctrine. That's why when I was trying to get on her quicker.
Do you know who this is?
Who?
And on the back chat.
I don't see anybody.
Hold up.
So you might want to put it up. But the man doesn't have a straightforward doctrine because he literally teaches Deuteronomy 29 is the heathen coming into the covenant with David. But now he's here telling you that the heathen never went into the old covenant. That's why they don't need to be told they get a new covenant.
Hold on fast. Sans for take your put your camera back on. What's up, man? What you got?
I just wanted to share with you, brothers. I have this. I got this dictionary. It's from 1878, and it has the definition of the word Gentile in it. Right, the Christian's about to run. Before it mentions anything else about anything, the first part of the definition, and what's so cold about it, it's the Hebrew word goy. Right, the first part of the definition mentions that it's applicable to the Israelites.
God,
Christ.
And what's that dictionary called?
It's called Over 600 Engravings Dictionary. It's from 1878. I'll come back on the platform and give you the exact name. There's this application. It's called Google Playbook, where if you type in free dictionary or free ecclesiastical literature, it'll give you a list of dictionaries. Some of them go back as early as like 1885, 1830.
Hey, brother, if you a real one, you would get that link and post it in the comment section.
Please.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Throw water for that. Drop it in the comment section. I'm gonna drop you down.
Okay, hey, Trey, I want to say one more thing too. Look, I showed my uncle Yahushua quoting out of the Apocrypha. You know how the Lord in Matthew 23 and 37, how he quotes from the Apocrypha.
God.
My uncle got me on the do not call list. Haven't heard from him since. 35 years of Christianity down the drain with one
scripture
question, one little scripture. And you know what? Christians lie, dog. They lie. They say that whenever I bring that up, the first thing they say is it's in the Old Testament. It's only found in 2 places, the Apocrypha and Matthew 23 and 37.
Damn.
All praises, brother.
All right, let me see if I can post that in the chat for y'all.
The water got to do that.
Okay. I'm about to drop you down. We gotta keep moving.
Yeah, bro. That's some good literature right there.
Look at this nigga right here, man. Look at this nigga Matati, bro.
You muted up.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
But no, Yadi, that was I would tell you that was a great debate. When this is a good showing of just because a Christian has an answer doesn't make him right. Because when you took him to Romans 9 and 24, oh my God, he said, I don't gotta go in Hosea and break down the prophecy that Paul is using. I'm gonna just say it means what it means because that's what it means. I'm like, all right, bro.
I'm white and I'm right.
You trying to pull a white and I'm right. You're black. Sit down.
That nigga's an Oreo. Nigga's an Oreo, man. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, man.
Hey, God, Shalom, man. Shabbat
yeah,
Shalom.
Man. So I'll talk to you about it later, Yadi. You know what I'm saying? We got the brother Kanayak here. You know, he's here to observe, the new moon feast day, Yadi.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shalom, eyes. Hey, man. Hey, look, put a chat out there. Why aren't you following Sakari Space City? Why are you not indulged in Space City Records?
That's right.
What's going on, man?
Shalom, Tyler Rock.
Oh, praise Tyler Rock
in here, man. I already played some Space City too, man.
Oh, praises. Oh, praises, man.
When the album coming out?
March 12th. Everybody look out. It's March 12th. It's dropping.
I could have sworn she said a few days, man.
Why y'all double talk on who the strangers is? Wasn't Dominic giving the link a long time ago?
No, I didn't give him the link. I gave it to Oz.
Dominic, you want the link, bro?
He's talking about
I don't know if you're for or against or you're hopping on the fence. What you got going on, brother?
He's talking about Exodus 12 and 48.
He's an agent of Christianity, man. We've gone through this. We've gone through this. They've read one Bible verse. I'm gonna shut everything down with this one Bible verse. And, they come on here, they get cut. We continue with the lesson.
Okay. Hey, Dominic, you want a box, bro? We can put the link in. Throw your dukes up. Let's see what's popping, man. You come on, bro. Or you can air your grievances, or hey, man, stand up. I like how this
nigga without you just pop up on the live. He just pops up on the live and just automatically just like, hey man, you want scrap, nigga?
You want to smoke, brother?
Imagine coming to your house and inviting some smoke to your house.
Hey, look, you know what? You right, because for some odd reason I thought I was gonna catch a fade at my house.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying. Crazy. You see, Tosh Rob in the
Hey, Tosh Rob, man, you can get the link too, man.
Oh, God. That's right. That's right.
That's right. Hold on. Let me put the banner up for Dominic.
This is making me feel bad. I'd have been under the weather.
Yeah, bro. I've been sick for a minute.
3 days.
You said what?
I done had a fever for like 3 days now, man.
Me too.
Oh,
yeah, so it's something going around.
Came back is what you're saying.
Yes. I've been sick all week, and my son is sick.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, it's all fun and games so someone, runs away from a fade. What's going on, Dominic?
What up, y'all?
Do you come in peace or are you here for war?
Hey, either way it go, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever way it
go. Okay.
So where do you stand?
Huh?
Where do you stand?
I think just the discussion. I think that, like I said, I was saying in the chat, I think it's like a mixed review, just for my opinion. I think the brother, what's his name? What's the brother's name that doing the live?
This bro, that's the Elamite, bro.
Yeah, big Elam in the building.
Yeah, I remember, bro.
Big Elam in the building.
Oh God.
But like I was saying, and by the way, I'm not an Elamite, but it's okay. Yeah, he handled himself really well, man. Just with the position of Hosea, yeah, I don't agree with Dwayne on that. But the reason I kept on harping on you not letting him explain the whole Gentile thing is because you brought him into the conversation, bro. And then when he finally tried to explain what he meant about the Gentiles not needing the adoption, you was like, yeah, bro, okay, I got like 10 minutes, bro. Like, I will let you, I want you to just bring out that verse that you wanted. I felt like it wasn't disingenuous. I ain't gonna say it was disingenuous, but damn, we could have got a little bit more understanding of what Dwayne was talking about.
Is that all I said, though?
I mean, it was a lot said, bro. You feel me?
Because what I'm saying, I'm talking about that particular moment. Because I said, like, I only have 10 minutes. So, do you want this to be your? Do you want Romans 11 to be your point, or do you want to deal with what you brought out right here? That's what I told him. Or not what you brought out right here. The point you've been trying to get out this whole time.
Well, you can see he was already a little uncomfortable dealing with the conversation. Like the brother Dwayne sit up on there for like hours, bro, talking to Hebrew Israelites. So I don't know if you got him distressed or if you made him uncomfortable, but you could tell in his spirit that he was a little.
I mean, that just happened.
He was a little shaken up a little bit. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, as a viewer, as someone that was watching, bro, I just wish you would have let him go in a little bit further on his understanding with the whole Gentile situation, because y'all stayed on that for a good 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the adoptions, and then when he finally was trying to explain what why the Gentiles didn't need the adoptions, you was like, yeah, let's get away from that. Let's get away, which almost seemed like a good move to pull, because it goes, you know what I'm saying? It goes against what you was teaching. And he probably just felt like, you know what, whatever.
I mean, it doesn't go against what I was teaching, though. And it's not relevant to the topic of the adoption.
What, that the Gentiles don't need the adoptions?
No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is the topic of grafting in and the topic of the adoption are two different things.
Well, honestly, like I said, man, I was just, as a standby, I'm just listening. I don't even know where he was going with the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I would be the one, like you were saying, like the brother, what's the brother with the do-rag, with the blue shirt on? He said that he teaches that the non-Israelites are in the
he basically is double talking when he told the brother up here that the Gentiles don't have to be told that they're going into a new covenant is because they weren't in the old covenant. He just flat out changed his doctrine, because
absolutely.
Before then, he was pushing Deuteronomy 29:9 is the strangers coming into the covenant too.
Yep.
Because he teams up with that white boy Dave, and that's what they push. So I'm like,
yep.
So which one is it now? You know?
Nah, you're absolutely correct. And and that's why I was like, I feel like y'all do the same thing when it comes to the strangers. Y'all kind of double talk when it comes to the concept of what a stranger is.
Well, hold on.
Like,
my bad. Real quick. I just have to ask. If we showed proof that there is a distinction between strangers, like if the Bible makes a distinction of what a stranger is predicated on certain information, and that's in the Bible, how is that just double talking? Because we can go to Leviticus 25, where it shows a Israelite stranger or sojourner, someone who is either not born in the land or lives outside the land and comes back around us and gives us certain parameters on how we are to treat them, versus an actual heathen stranger, someone who's not of Israel. And I don't mean by nation, by land. I'm talking about a blood descendant of the 12 tribes. That's not one of them and is a stranger, and how we are to treat them. If the Bible showcases these things, how are we double talking when these are what we are teaching and displaying within the Bible?
Because when it says to love thy stranger as yourself,
does it say stranger or neighbor?
I believe it says both.
It says
I believe we got one in Deuteronomy and then we got another one in Leviticus.
Can you read them?
Off the top of my dome, I don't have it, bro. But
you don't have your Bible on you?
Nah, I don't have my Bible in front of me.
That's okay. You got brothers around about you on this panel.
What about? Hold on, so what about the strangers we can commit usury on?
And where does it say to commit usury on a stranger?
Got you right. This is Deuteronomy 23:19 through 20. Thou shalt not lend upon usury unto thy brother, usury or money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. So you can't put usury on the Israelite, correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury. So what about that? How are we supposed to love a stranger if strangers have one finite definition? If a stranger has one finite definition, and we're supposed to love the stranger like how we love an Israelite, why does the Lord say I can put usury on him but not my fellow Israelite?
Because that particular stranger is the Nakri. That's not a guard. And that's what
so there's two different strangers then.
Thank you.
And that would be my position with y'all, because when it comes to the guard,
that's what we teach.
Hold on, but let me say this though, bro. Let me say this, because you don't teach this. You don't teach what I'm about to say though. You teach the Nakri, yeah, for sure. You teach the Nakri and the guard, but when it comes to the guard, now it gets real slippery and kind of weird, because y'all start saying, oh, the Gar is just straight up Israel. Oh no, the Gar is non-Israel over here.
We never said that. We have never said the Gar is straight up Israel. I'm gonna be honest with you. Been in this organization about 4 years now, and I didn't learn from these brothers. They didn't teach me that. So I'm no, no, sir.
So when
what we said is there's instances where Gar is an Israelite.
There you go.
And that's what I'm saying. That's almost sound like double talking to me, because a Gar is straight up a non-Israelite.
Can an Israelite be a stranger and an alien?
There you go. That's the only way you can look at it.
I'm asking you a question, Dominic. Can an Israelite be a stranger and an alien?
Yes, but the stranger is based off of a non-Israelite.
So how can we tell the difference between the two? How do we know when a stranger is an Israelite and a stranger is a heathen? How do we tell the difference?
Through circumcision.
Through circumcision?
Man, wait, pause. No, Dominic. Hold up real quick, Dominic. We know through circumcision. So wait a minute. The word Gar existed prior to circumcision.
Say that
so
again,
how can
bro?
we say that the word Gar existed prior to that?
Okay.
That concept existed prior to it. It means stranger or foreign. So we can't do that. You're not about to pick and choose and now try to run, because I know what you're trying to run to Exodus 12 and try to make a point that's really going to get cut. But before I'm gonna stop you before you even get there. That concept existed prior to that. So you're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, my brother.
No, I mean, not really though, bro, because even with Ezekiel.
Wait. Before you even attempt to run to Ezekiel, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So you said through circumcision, that's how we tell the difference between an Israelite stranger and a heathen stranger.
Well, there's different ways. There's sojourning.
You specifically said circumcision. I just want to make sure that's what you said.
I said there's.
You said yes, right?
Every time I try to talk, y'all keep cutting me off, though.
Go ahead, let him go.
So yeah, there's circumcision. It's how you can determine if someone is a Nakri or a Gar.
So if a male is circumcised, is he an Israelite or is he a heathen?
He is essentially a citizen of Israel, or he is one who is a bloodline Israelite.
Okay, cool, perfect. So was Abraham and Isaac, were they Israelites?
No, Israel happened with Jacob.
But you just said that if you're a circumcised male, then you would either be a descendant of Israel or you would be one of the nation of Israel. Abraham and Isaac
were indeed circumcised. So why aren't they counted as Israelites predicated on what you just said?
I mean, that ain't got the price to do with the tea in China, though, brother. Like,
This is what you're saying. So your ideology and what you just said, that would mean that Abraham and Isaac are indeed Israelites. Based on what you said, do you concede to that notion, or do you want to keep it?
But brother, we talking about the law. You want to talk about Abraham and Isaac? That's what we
doing. Is Abraham in the law?
Thank you. Is Abraham not in Genesis?
Come on, bro. Stop playing, bro.
Yeah, I know. Y'all don't want to
Abraham in the law.
Y'all want to change the goalposts.
How are we changing the goalposts?
Dominic.
You changing the goalposts.
What goalposts? Hold on. What goalposts, Dominic?
Yeah, let's talk about the law. Why we talking about if Abraham is an Israelite, brother?
Because you said that you said a circumcised male would be counted as an Israelite. Abraham was circumcised. Isaac was circumcised. Hell, I'll even throw Ishmael in there. They were circumcised because they were in Abraham's house.
Esau,
therefore, based off what you said, they would be Israelites. Is that true?
If Esau was circumcised,
I didn't say Esau.
Well, anybody, if any descendant of Israel was circumcised and were bought, just like it says in Exodus 12:48, I believe it.
Okay.
Then they are now citizens.
They're now citizens of Israel.
Yes.
So were the children of Amalek during Exodus, since they are descendants, does that mean that they're also part of the nation of Israel?
Descendants? I said if they are circumcised and bought, brother. What are you talking about?
If they're circumcised and bought?
Yes.
Wait, so every Israelite has to be circumcised and bought to be an Israelite?
See, brother, I didn't say nothing about Israel.
No, he's harping on the point that what makes somebody a citizen is if you're a heathen and he gets circumcised,
right?
And you buy him, he's now a citizen of Israel.
So he's a citizen of the nation.
Hold on, Matazi. I don't want to move away from this. What is a citizen? What does it mean to be a citizen?
I was just about to ask that.
It means to pay taxes, and it means to pay taxes. It means to be a tributary, and it also means to have property.
Does that mean that they?
Okay, wait, hold on. So let's say you're right for a second, because I want to follow this line of logic. So let's just say I want to ask a question one more time, and I want to ask a question predicated off of that. So a non-Israelite, when he becomes circumcised, he becomes a citizen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, right. With that, are they now equal to an Israelite?
In regards of Leviticus 25:47, we see that it tells us that a stranger can wax rich, right? So what was the question again, brother? What was the question you just asked?
That what you just read had nothing to do with the question I asked you.
That's moving the goalposts.
Literally. So I asked you, when they become if they become citizens, are these heathen now equal to Israelites?
So again, the reason why I brought up Leviticus 25:46 and the point that they can wax rich, that shows you that they
literal question.
They can be equal.
Okay, now Dominic.
Leviticus 25 and 46 don't even say that, just to let you know.
Huh?
It don't, but Dominic, hold on.
What, that they wax rich? That the stranger could wax rich?
Wait, Dominic, hold up real fast. Bro, everybody chill out real fast. So Dominic, if they become equal to Israelites, why does the law in Deuteronomy 23 says I can put usury on a stranger, but my brother, and that literally means an Israelite, a brother I can't put usury on, but I can put it on a heathen?
Because that heathen is one who is not circumcised. The decree is not a guard. So now watch this, brother. Now watch this.
No, we can't do that, because when you see right there in Deuteronomy 23 and 19, that's a literal full-blooded Israelite. We're not about to play games with the word stranger right here. Verse 19 is not somebody who just got circumcised of another nation. That's a full-blooded Israelite. And the verse 20 is direct contrast to that. So somebody who's not an Israelite. So why does it say in verse 20 somebody who's not an Israelite can have usury put on them?
Brother, if I'm an Israelite, right? And
I'm not asking about I'm asking you to answer the question, Dominic.
Okay, ask the question again.
in verse 19, there's no disputation on who it's talking to right there when it says the brother. That's a full-blooded Israelite. When you go to verse 20, it gives you a direct contrast between a full-blooded Israelite and a non-Israelite. Why does it say a non-Israelite there can have usury put on him?
It's kind of obvious, bro, because if they are people who are just merchants coming to the land, right? They trying to sell, because that's another form of a stranger, is a merchant, someone who is just coming into the land selling things, right? That's what it's predicated on, right? It's predicated on
it's not predicated on none of that, because it didn't say any of that.
There's nothing that says that.
I mean, it's based off of that, because Israel is supposed to be the lender.
It's not based off. No, we're not doing it's based off of presuppositions. It says what it says.
Can he just provide scripture?
Why does it say a non-Israelite can have usury put on them if they're supposed to be citizens and if they're supposed to be equal?
Okay, because again, Exodus 12:48.
I'm not asking you about Exodus 12:48. I'm asking you about this verse, Dominic.
You gotta let me respond, though, bro.
No, I want you to respond to that verse. We're not diverting, Dominic.
I gave you
answer the question that was proposed to you.
I gave you my response. I told you that the Nakri is one who is not circumcised. He is not bought. I told you that earlier.
Dominic, you don't know the Bible, bro. You don't know it. You don't understand this. What you don't understand. Hold on. Let me take this off because we keep making my screen crash. Right.
You're getting nervous, bro. You're getting nervous. Not letting me talk. You're not even letting me.
No, I'm not getting nervous. I'm taking that off the screen because it's slowing down my internet. Right. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Hold on real quick, guys. I'm asking the same question again. What you think the definition of that word is for stranger is irrelevant, because the verse prior to that, nobody can dispute is an Israelite. Verse 20 is in contrast to that. I'm not asking you about a merchant. I'm not asking you about any type of caveats to try to get you to escape out of this. I want you to tell me why it says a non-Israelite can have usury put on them if they're supposed to be equal to an Israelite.
I mean, I don't know how many times you want me to answer it differently, bro. I gave you my response.
You didn't give a response. You want to run somewhere else. Answer the question that's asked you.
You want me to tell you how a Nakri is allowed to have usury practice on them? Because what the discussion is really about is the guard. That's what we really is supposed to be up there.
Dominic,
you want to focus on the
guard. That is the very last time I'm gonna ask you a question you want to divert. Yeah. Answer the question that's proposed to you.
You don't want to address the guard point, boy.
Dominic, get the fuck off of my life.
He is playing.
I don't know how many times I have to keep dealing with dumbass niggas who like they do this every single time. I know you think these definitions are concrete all the time, but there's various times like this one where we can literally read it verbatim and it doesn't agree with what your definition is. And you noticed he knows it. That's why he keeps wanting to go to this says this and this. No, answer this right here, nigga.
He keep trying to act like I hate it. Bro, he keep trying to act like we're going to the car. No, you keep going to Exodus 12. We're talking about the guard. Nobody brought the car up here. Nobody brought it up. When Yadi asked you that question in that same verse, it says guard.
Facts. I assume while I was waiting, you read Deuteronomy 23.
Yeah.
I'm about to say because I got
that one. I don't think that one's not. You're talking about Deuteronomy 23. That's not guard.
Let's see.
Agree.
What I'm saying for the usury. Because I left and came back.
That's agree.
Okay. Well, shit. Never mind. Either way, Maz is playing.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 23 is decree.
Oh, it's decree?
Yeah, that's decree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he keeps talking. Like I hate when they do. I hate when they do this. It's the same thing Dave does, right? Y'all get, and it's just like when I said earlier before y'all even got on here. The Blue Letter Bible app. There's various times where it'll give you a definition, but the context don't agree with it. In verse 19, Let's look at verse 19, right? Verse Deuteronomy 23 and 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Now the next verse gives you the converse to that. The next verse literally gives you the converse to that. So you're going to have to explain. If you believe that's an decree, that's cool. That creates a problem in the text right here. You dummy.
Fact.
And he knows that. That's why he wanted to run to something else.
Hey, read it in the CSB. The CSB. It gets nasty.
Oh, I was going to show that later. The rest of them literally says a fellow Israelite, do not charge your brother interest, right? Interest to your countrymen, literally your brother. All of this is talking about an Israelite. There's no damn caveats where they're just coming to be emerged. Come on, bro.
No, hit verse 20. Verse 20 in the CSB is
I don't think it's wise. He's running to Exodus 20. I mean, to Exodus 12 and 48, when they don't even say none of them are merchants.
I didn't know. So according to him, a merchant is someone who's a
none of them do.
But no, there's just nothing that says that though. Like
there isn't. He just, hey man, look.
And that's why he came on. That's why he came on here trying to put a cape on for Dwayne, because Dwayne was the king of ass pulls, and now here comes Dominic being dirty damn Dom from WWE, right? Coming giving a fucking ass pull. That's why he's doing that. And nothing in Exodus 12, it don't say merchants. Deuteronomy 23 don't say merchants. That's convenient for your argument. Like, you dummy, bro. I can't, like, bro, why are people so dishonest? That's the thing that be killing me. You're so dishonest with the text.
I mean, this is the same man that thinks he's an Israelite because his mother is. I know who Dominic is. I didn't see that. Yes, his mother is an Israelite. His daddy an Elamite, and he know that.
The nigga's an Elamite. He got this big ass forehead.
I know. I just know before. That's not the first time he came up here before.
Oh man,
well, it makes sense. It makes sense that goddamn Durka freaking said that. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's fighting hard.
Damn.
Listen, y'all. He want this inheritance, but guess what? There's nothing you can do to get it.
Oh, wait, what did Cap say? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to get this salvation. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do, bro.
But let's go. I'm fed to hop out here. You know what I'm saying? Host of the new moon. Love you, brothers. I have a thigh family. Shalom.
I'm about to ask also, Yadi. He said that if a heathen is circumcised, he's a citizen, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Ruth a citizen?
How did she become a citizen?
How does she become a citizen? She can't get circumcised. She's a woman. It's just so many questions we can ask, bro.
It's so many questions, and it comes with caveat. I hate when people like. You can do that with other places in the Bible, because some places in the Bible need caveats, but the law is not like that.
No, it's not.
We don't believe in this God. Let's all like there's so many deep caveats to this. No, the law is so finite. This is what the Lord wants. This is what he doesn't want. He says you can do this to a heathen. You can't do this to your brother. It's so simple. We don't got to read nothing else. It just says it. You don't have an answer because you're goddamn Durka, right? It's crazy. That I just can't. I can't, bro. I just one thing that just be making me. I'm sitting there trying to eat my cornbread. I'm so upset.
I got a headache, and he was just making it worse, bro.
It's like, bro, like how can you like? I don't understand how when we deal with this text. Can you find me where it says in him is no guile? We found that we're talking about Christ.
Yeah, let me get it real quick.
Yeah, give me that then First Peter. Like I don't understand how you can deal with the Bible and just be full of guile and be full of deceit and lack sincerity, and then still say you love God and we're wrong.
But
that's what raises my blood pressure. What's up?
You know what's crazy though? They can do that though. Like I see Christians do that all the time, but as soon as we do something like that, it's the end of the world, bro.
It's the end of the world. Videos run around. Let's say you mess around and say something, something you didn't mean to say. Now there's clips. They are running around. Oh, we finally got the Hebrew Israelites. We can't confound them, but we just got him saying something he didn't mean to say. Like, you got that? You got the precept?
Nah, I can't find it.
I think it's in the beginning. It's in the beginning of John and Luke, where it says, "In him is no guile." Let me find it real fast.
Oh, bro. I see in him is no sin. Oh, okay. John 1:47, it says, and Yahweh saw Nathanael coming to him, and he said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. Is that what you want?
No guile. That's what I want. That's the spirit that give me 1 Peter 2:21. That's the spirit Christ came in. These will be the same people who will say they're Christians or followers. That man said he's Christ-like, which is ironic. He's Christ-like. Christ didn't have guile. Christ didn't have caveats for the law. Christ dealt with. As a matter of fact, that's the same thing Christ got on the Pharisees for.
Yep.
Saying it's okay that now you don't have to honor your parents. Just go ahead and do this.
Go give me some money.
7. Go give me some money. You don't have to help your parents. Give me some money. Get that for me.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 21. It says, "For even hereunto we were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps."
Mm-hmm. Who did what?
Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Who did no sin, and neither was guile found in his mouth. He kept the laws, and he didn't have any type of trickery. There was no trickery. There wasn't no smoke screens. He was who he was. And that's and everybody who isn't in this, what you would call, I don't know why my nose keeps itching so much. What's an easy way to explain? Like, not what they call Hebrew Israelism, yeah. Right? Or one West theology. When you operate outside of that, every time I talk to somebody who's outside of that, all I ever hear is excuses, guile, trickery. It just don't. When the text says this, it don't say what it actually says. It means what Paul says. Like that. Like, you're not a Christian.
You're not a Christian.
The real Christians didn't walk the real Christians didn't walk the earth until one West was established. outside of the original ones, when Christ, I'm talking about after the falling away and everybody started doing what they wanted, Israel went into captivity. But when it started
getting right,
yeah, when we started getting right again, when one West was established and all of us being fruit of that tree, that's when the real Christians start walking the earth, not these moronic people, and especially damn Demon Dave.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wish I would have caught it, but I busted Dave one day, boy. Oh my!
First God. Of all, whoa!
Hey.
Yeah, you gonna have to rephrase that one because that's crazy.
Okay, no Diddy. I cut him. Okay, he got cut.
Yikes!
He got cut on Isaiah 45 because he likes to go to Isaiah 45 and 20, where it says, I think it says, "All ye come near to me to the ends of the earth."
Yeah.
So I told him to read verse 13. If you read 13 on down to 15, it tells you how the heathen are going into slavery. So how is that talking about the heathen coming towards them? It was bad, bro.
He said,
He said, well, now you got to understand verse 20. I said, I understand verse 20. Can you break down 13 through 15? Explain that.
It just cancels that out. Where it says we're gonna get punished for what we did to the Israelites, right here before it cancels that punishment out.
That cancels that out, though. All right, buddy.
This dude, bro. And you know what's funny? That's like I posted this video that we were reacting to in what's that? The Christians versus Hebrew Israelites Facebook page.
Yeah.
And this man posted on there and said, well, this whole video showed that you don't understand the scriptures, you just have talking points. I said, me?
Wait, hold on. If I have good talking points, that means I understand what I'm reading. That means I do understand the Bible.
He said, I don't understand the Bible. I just have talking points.
You can just talk with him about it.
I'm saying, like, bro, I know not the master of talking points and say I know the kettle is not calling anybody black.
Well, that was Dwayne that said that?
Huh?
That was Dwayne that said that?
No, that was Dave.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy because he's the king of that.
He said, all I was thinking, I was like, all right, nigga.
He went from being on, he should really help them out though. I'm just gonna say that Dave should really help out Dwayne and them because they'll come up with doctrines like Deuteronomy 28 and 30 and 68 is talking about how the Israelites aren't going to go into slavery. They're going to try to sell themselves and nobody's going to buy them. But then Dave will backdoor and go to 3rd Maccabees and try to show that, oh, well, they did go into slavery in Egypt. Hold on, which one is it?
Which one is it, buddy? Mr. Talking Point, man.
Then if I ask you where the Northern Kingdom was now, was the Jews is everybody now. Well, okay. All right,
nigga. So when Israel and Judah is joined together in their land, I thought they were all Jews. Why does it say Israel and Judah is going to be joined in Ezekiel 37 then?
Hey, I pulled out Jeremiah 23 for him one time. He couldn't break that down.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We wrong, but y'all keep getting backed in the corners. Y'all keep walking the plank like every other time. Like every other verse, y'all walk the plank, but we're somehow wrong. It's crazy. Well, look at me, bro. I found my freaking, while you was talking, I found my freaking bust down Zeets, man. The VVS Zeets. You remember these? Are you on mute? You still on mute.
Hey, I know they hate to see it.
Yeah, I know they hate to see it. Bro, the bust down Zeets, nigga, the VVS Zeets.
I know it's a nigga looking at the screen. He like this, bro. He like, oh,
shit. Oh man. Shoot, I got the freaking, I was going to say, Madatia made me the freaking Kelly Greens. Oh, you can't even see it because of the green screen. I got the freaking Kelly Greens for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, bro. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off, bro. My fever coming back. I already feel it. I'm about to get on this.
Bro, mine already started.
Yeah, I'm not knowing, bro. But hey, Shalom. Hey, Shalom to the panel, man. I'm glad y'all come in and tune in to my brother Yachty, destroying another Christian. And again, man, look out for the album March 12th, man.
That's right.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom.
Okay, shalom. But yeah, man, as y'all seen, man, I'm sweating hard. My fever is going nuts right now. But what was I gonna say? As y'all seen, man, Dwayne don't know what he's talking about. And I might debate. I might show up on there and debate him again, just for shits and giggles. But Buddy is just, they lost in the sauce, man. And I pray they repent, because we run out of time. We got Elon Musk doing what he's doing, the master to them, Neuralink. It's crazy. It's crazy how close we are to getting like prophetically. If we look at the way prophecy is lining up and the way the world's going, we're so close to being saved, bro. So close to being saved. We got a person who was an officer under Trump who is over the Neuralink that could possibly be the mark of the beast, who's at the same time overlooking finances in America, But yeah, we're so close to getting up out of here, man. I pray these guys really repent. And if they don't, they can continue to be used as teaching tools for Israel. But yeah, man, with that, oh yeah, don't forget, go subscribe to Masada Apologetics. Go subscribe to Masada Apologetics right now, right? These videos, they're not going to be as frequent as the things that you will see on this page, because I want these to be higher quality, and I want to deal with specific points. Like, there's a rampant spirit of OT, like an OT only spirit running around Israel right now. So I'm making a video about Isaiah 53, and I'm going to go point for point to show it's Christ, and point for point to show that it's not talking about anybody outside of Christ. It's not the prophets. It's not Israel. It's not Isaiah himself. It's specifically talking about Christ. That's what I'm working on right now. I got a long script and I got a lot of stuff I'm going into with that. So that's coming. There was another video. I also want to talk about the mixed multitude, because they really, if you really read it and look at how they were dealt with and the way they were talked about in Nehemiah, they were not saved. Like you can't definitively say that they were saved. Like that's another thing I want to go into. That's gonna be number 2, most likely, right? But right now I'm thinking about Isaiah 53 about the suffering servant and proving his Christ. And what else I got? What else do I got? What else I got going on, man? That's pretty much it right now. My fever's going nuts. I can't even think correctly. So with that, I'm gonna say call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and I'm gonna say Shalom, man.